What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Sippin With Sin, the podcast where we talk about stuff and things that are important to all. And, yeah, it's the most important things that anybody needs to know. It's science. It's proven. People way smarter than all of us. You know this, Bill. If you've been here, you already know it's the number one podcast of stuff and things that are important to everybody. It's facts. It just happens. It's what it is. Scientists have proved it. Yeah. Also, I'm going to turn full soup today. Get ready. But first, before I turn full soup and explain why I'm going to turn full soup, let's bring back our esteemed colleague that's sitting there probably looking very confused at the moment. The one, the only, Mr. Christian.
How's everyone doing? Feels good to be back for another episode. Hope you guys are enjoying what we talk about.
Yes, sir. All right. Apologies about Christian's low volume last week. That would be on me. I adjusted stuff for streaming and I completely screwed up, so that'd be my fault. So yeah, apologies. He was super low. He should be turned up now. I just now actually thought about it as we had started, so it should be fixed. Because I'm producer, too. I do everything.
Yeah, man.
No, what I was talking about is I am drinking GFUEL's flavor Compound V today. The boys flavor Compound V. Christian, I figured you'd appreciate that. I saw boys, and I was like, yeah, I need that in my life. I need to have that and try it. And it's called Compound
Absolutely.
V. I was like, that's pretty sick. I think they
What's
have
the
another one
flavor?
called Temp V also.
Temp V. Is it going to make you bleed your brain out of your ears?
No, it's gonna make me be like the orgy. I'm gonna be like the dude with the thing that's like running around wrapping around people. That's gonna be my superpower.
What's his name? Love Sausage?
Love sausage, yeah. That's gonna be me. That'd be my. That was the worst superhero power ever. Can you imagine? Be like, oh, I can fly. I'm pretty much Superman. I'm the Flash. I can talk to fish. What can you do? Oh, my genitalia can stretch around and smack people from like 2 miles away. It's like, what? Okay, you're not invited to the party. But why?
Somebody would enjoy that.
I mean,
sure.
somebody would, but you're telling me aliens come to invade the Earth and you're going to be like, love sausage, save us. No, that's not going to happen. Please drop your pants and help us, help humanity. God,
Like I said,
miss that
somebody
show.
would enjoy that.
I need that show back in my
It's
life.
coming back sooner or later, I'm pretty sure.
It won't be this year, though, right? Because we got it last summer? Last fall? No, it wasn't fall. Was it?
I can't even remember.
I think it was like late summer. We get Invincible this year at some point.
At some point, yeah.
Yeah, it's.
I think they keep telling us it's at some point.
I think it's something about Comic-Con is rumored. I saw that because that's coming on. That starts this weekend. San Diego Comic-Con, right?
Yeah, Comic-Con's looking real bare this year. Like everybody pulled out. So I think we'll get some comic book news, which I mean that's what it used to be for. And we'll get new TV shows and stuff. We'll get a little bit of that's already out thanks to the writer strike, actor strike. So there's a lot of things right now that can't be promoted, like actually can't be promoted via legal reasons. So stuff that's already done. Those studios can get out there and promote that kind of stuff. But yeah, we won't be seeing any, guest actors and whatnot this year. So it's going to be a little weird.
Mortal Kombat's going to be there. I don't know what all they're doing.
That makes sense for them. I'm sure we'll get another trailer.
Yeah.
I think Ed Boon actually, a little bit of news early. I think Ed Boon released a day or two ago that we're supposed to get, I think he said 3 more trailers. He said that in either a Twitter post or an interview. I can't remember. But yeah, we're definitely supposed to get some more Mortal Kombat trailers. So I'm thinking they're doing character trailers if they're dropping. So I'm looking forward to seeing those in the next few days.
Well, all right. So what we like to do, well, first and foremost, listeners, me and Christian may have a reunion coming up.
That's right.
We can
It's been a long
mouth hug in
time.
person. We should have filmed this in person. That would have been some stuff to figure out, but that would have been pretty fun. But then again, it's also going to be kind of a busy thing. Stuff will be going on, so it probably been kind of hard to do.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, we got a reunion. We get to see each other in person and sniff each other's hair, and don't make it weird, listeners. I mean, that's what men
Absolutely.
do. We sniff hair for
Gotta
other
make it weird.
men. Each other. You sniff your bro's hair. Just sniff your bro's hair.
Just make sure he's clean. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Help him out.
And make sure you use the shampoo and stuff. Anyways, okay, getting back on track. Sorry, we got completely sidetracked. But what we like to do to start every episode, we like to talk about what we've been watching, reading, listening to, or playing this past week. And so we're gonna let Christian start, as I've been starting lately. So we're gonna let Christian do things.
No problem. It's been a pretty light week, to be honest. Like I've been, same old, par for the course. Been working a lot, trying to get other things done. So what have I watched? Let's see. I did catch up finally on Secret Invasion, the Marvel show, uh, loosely based off of the comic adaptation, Secret Invasion. Been watching that, catching up. I had to let some episodes kind of accumulate before I really got into it, which I think was the best way to do it. It makes more sense. It flows a little better. And we had some revelations in that show as well that had come up. And at the time of this, there's one episode left. So I believe next week, the last episode that comes out. So I'm excited to see how that wraps up because there's a lot of plot threads. There's a lot of loose threads hanging there that they got to wrap up in order to make that make sense. And then I'm pretty sure Marvel let us know already that this is supposed to lead us right up into the Marvels, the movie that has all of the Marvels characters in it. So you got Marvel, you got I don't even remember everybody's name anymore. The two Miss Marvel characters, I think, and then you have Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, and then I can't remember her name right now, and I apologize, but I watched the trailer for the Marvels and I wasn't super like excited about it, mainly because like
I'm not.
It's not
excited.
even that I'm having. It's not that I'm having Marvel fatigue necessarily. It's just that it looks like it's supposed to be a super silly movie, and that's cool. I'm just not in the mood right now for a super silly superhero movie, if that makes sense. Like we've had enough, and I need something else, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But anyway, with that said, I did watch what is available to watch of Secret Invasion, and it's enjoyable. I know a lot of people aren't watching that show, and it's kind of surprising because the ratings for the show have been pretty low. Viewership for the show has been pretty low as well, and like I said, when it's done, when this last episode comes out next week, I think a lot of more people will jump on it and start watching it. And I'm excited to see what the viewer ratings are at that point because Samuel L. Jackson he's doing his thing, man. He's Samuel L. Jackson. He's on screen. I'm like, I actually care about what's happening. I can't say that for every character, I will say, but mostly the acting is well done. Like I know we got the actor that plays Daenerys is one of the main characters in this show, and her character is cool, but I'm not as invested. I'm not as invested in her character. Her name's Gaia in the show. I'm not as invested in Gaia as I am Talos, as I am Nick Fury, as I am the main of the show, just because they just have more to do. So I'm excited about those things more so than the new characters. But anyway, like I said, I did watch that show. It's not bad. It's not the best show I've ever seen. It's better than a couple of the other shows that we've seen for sure that we've covered on the show, on the podcast. I did watch that. And then aside from that, I've kind of just been back and forth watching a couple things. I think I talked about it before, but there's a show on Netflix right now called Bloodhounds, and it's an action Korean show, Korean drama, and I'm enjoying it. It's about a boxer who gets in debt with the mob. His mom is in debt with the mob, and he tries to help her. They beat him up and tell him if he tells the police, they're going to kill his mom. So he has to do some things he doesn't want to do in order to make that money back. But I'm enjoying the action, well done. It was filmed clearly during the pandemic, but it is done well, and I really like that show. So that's the other thing that I watch that I for sure enjoy. And then aside from that, I have been watching an anime on Crunchyroll called Mashal, and Mashal is a combination of One Punch Man for the anime watchers and Harry Potter. It's literally those two shows, movies put together. And it's really, really funny. It's really silly. It's not meant to be taken seriously. And I needed that refresher. I talked about not wanting to see a silly, fun Marvel movie, but when it comes to an anime, a show, I did need something super silly and funny. And Mashal was the anime. So all of it, the first season is available entirety on Crunchyroll right now. So if you have access to watching Mashal and you want to see something that's silly and funny, that is Harry Potter, that is Punch Man put together, definitely give that a shot. And for those anime people who are initiated, if you've seen Cycle 100, then you know exactly what you're getting into while watching Mashal. It's the same people show, so enjoy. And then other than that, guys, I have just really been trying to catch up on some other things that I've been missing in on, and I'm playing a couple games. I did play 2 games this week. One Sin we talk about right now. I did get during Prime Day. I bought the PS5 like Legendary Edition or whatever of Ghost of Tsushima, which is a game that I really really loved back when I had PS4.
That's a
so I
fantastic
restarted
game.
The entirety.
And if anybody says anything
It
different,
really is.
you're wrong. Like, there's no arguing.
Wrong.
You're wrong. That's a beautiful, just amazing game all the way through. Like,
All the way through. And I realized I never got to beat the game. So I started the game over, and I'm just playing it from the beginning. And, you know, at the beginning of the game, you got to do your thing with the war, and you go collect people. So I'm right now collecting the people and, you know, unlocking some unlockables and whatnot. So I'm doing that right now, and I'm just having a blast with the game. I don't have a lot of time to play it, but every chance I do get that I am playing it, I'm enjoying my time. I really love this game. If you haven't played it already, what are you doing? If you've played it already, I understand. It's a great game. Fantastic. Everything about it, the writing, the soundtrack, the graphics, everything about this game is so nice, so good, so refreshing, so pretty, and I love it so much. So that's what I've been doing with my week. Sin, I'm gonna throw it off to you. What have you been up to?
Okay, so mine. Wait, 2 games. You only named 1 game.
I named 1 game because the other game I played with you. So
well, let's go ahead and address that, and then we'll talk about what I watched. So, over the weekend, me and Christian finally, I mean, it's been supposed to happen for a while, and we finally were able to get together, and we played some Street Fighter, and I will admit, I'm pretty sure it didn't keep our actual record, but I'm going to say Christian ended up with a few more wins than me. It was fairly close, but full disclaimer, I am boo-boo shoes at Street Fighter. Christian, you're kind of right there with me. Neither one of us, in both of our defenses, we didn't stick to one character the whole time. It's not like we were like, all right, I'm going to be Ken, you're going to be Blanca. It wasn't nothing like that. Literally, we were just jumping around trying all kinds of characters, just fighting, trying to figure the game out, and it was some awful, sloppy fighting, for sure. Like, it was a lot of, how the hell did I do that kind of thing? And like, ooh, how do I do this again? Or how do I, but it'll get better. It's not like our fights when we were like on Injustice or Mortal Kombat or anything where it's definitely more fine-tuned and we have a better understanding. My brain, I don't know about Christians, but my brain while playing Street Fighter was more tuned in to like a NetherRealm game. So I was constantly thinking in terms of NetherRealm stuff and not Capcom and Street Fighter. So having to adjust to that was definitely something. But it was fun. It was a fun time. It was a normal laughs and trash talk and just trying to figure out a fighting game. So it's always a good time, for sure. I don't know what Christian's thoughts were on it. I know he can throw from across the damn map, though. I swear, this dude was throwing constantly. It didn't matter what I did. He was always pulling off a throw.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun playing. We definitely just kind of jumped around. It got to the point to where we just picked random for a while. And just whoever we got, that's who we were trying. And I will say, like, there are 2 control sets on Street Fighter. There's modern controls and there's classic controls. Do not play with modern controls. Modern controls is really, if you're a brand new person to Street Fighter, you never really played fighting games before, you just want to get in there and do some cool stuff and then go home or whatever, then sure, modern controls for you. But if you play fighting games and you want to learn how to string combos, you want to learn how to use all the special moves of the character, you want to really fine tune doing, modern controls isn't for you. So we were playing with modern controls and I didn't know that you could change it for a while. So the first like 3 rounds, we're playing with the modern controls and it's not fun because it's like one button.
It's weird. Moves. Yeah, it doesn't. We were doing stuff and both of us were like, why can't I do this? Like, what? Neither one of us understood. We were like, why? What? Like, yeah. I'm over here trying to do a move and it's just not, I don't know. It was,
definitely classic
I'm not
guys.
A fan of them.
Definitely classic guys, and we needed the classic controls in order to figure out how to use characters. So once we switched to classic controls, it got a little easier, got a little bit better, a little bit smoother for us. So we were actually playing the game. Like
There's nothing wrong with the game. The game plays good. It ran good. I don't think we really had any issues. There was no stuff, anything. It was just
no lag.
Our
no
skill is what was lacking, pretty much. Mm-hmm. Our skill and at least our knowledge of like the game and like the moves and combos and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was definitely, like you were saying earlier, I was absolutely playing the game as if I were playing Mortal Kombat 11 and or Injustice 2. And it's really bad because I'm like, why can't I enhance this move? And it's like terrible. So
meter burn,
was
meter
really
burn
bad for a minute.
Why is not meter burning? Oh God.
Yeah. So we were just in the wrong mindset to play it. But I since then had a little bit more time to play it, just to fine tune that a little bit. So it's a little easier for me. I've learned I can play with better.
Uh-oh. Did we lose Christian?
With Guile a lot and play with Blanca a little bit as well. So those are the three main characters I've been really playing with. I want to play
who are
with
the three?
Marisa
Guile,
more.
Blanca, and who? You cut out for a second on mine.
Ken.
Oh yeah, Ken. I feel like Ken was both of our strongest characters right away. Like whoever played Ken pretty much won. Like there was no doubt. It was pretty much a ass whooping. Ken's strong, man.
That's very true.
Ken, to me, Ken's really strong, really smooth character. Good moveset.
My favorite.
I kind of liked Marissa, surprisingly. I don't know what it was about her.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I really like her, too. I got to learn how to actually use her. And then the character that I played with that I enjoyed, surprisingly, was DJ. I played DJ a little bit more, and he was fun.
One thing that shocked me was I honestly expected, like, E Honda and them to be a lot slower, and they really weren't. And I think that kind of caught both of us off guard the first time we played as them, because we were like, oh, shit, they're kind of quick. Like, they're getting in my ass a little bit.
Yeah, there were some character surprises for sure.
But all right, so what I've been into this past week, we'll go ahead and dive into that. So for me, I have caught up. I have a new episode, I think tomorrow or something, maybe. But I watched What We Do in the Shadows. I freaking love that show so much. God, I love that show. That show just hits every episode. Like I'm laughing. It's what I want. It's probably like the worst vampires in the history of vampires. Like they're just stupid, but I love them. And Laszlo is the GOAT. I love Laszlo. I don't know what the rules are with cable. It comes on FX, and I don't know after a certain time. I guess you're allowed to drop more F-bombs because they allot all of them for him. Pretty much, you hear this fucking guy like so much from him that I'm just like, they don't care. But I get to watch it on Hulu. It comes on Hulu, I think the day after or something like that when it airs. It's a fun show. If you enjoy just like a dark comedy-ish kind of thing, watch it. Christian, have you ever watched What We Do in the Shadows?
Yeah, I've seen the first season, and I think that was it. I want to say I started season 2.
Did you like
it? But the show was fantastic. The show's fantastic. I have nothing bad to say about What We Do in the Shadows.
It's funny. It's just a feel-good show. If you're looking for some super deep-rooted story, it's not for you. They're literally screw-up vampires that have been alive for I don't know how long, that live together, and but it's shot in almost like a documentary style, similar to the movie.
It's like a mockumentary for sure.
There's a movie, and it's shot in a documentary style, so it's similar to that, like they're filming a TV show. But definitely check that out. I've been watching that, so I've watched the first 3 episodes.
Office style almost.
Yeah, there you go. Watch that. I finished the quarterback show, which was good. Like I said, I love those behind the scenes documentary style shows like that. I just like seeing what you see beyond the field, like some of the stuff that goes on and like their thought process and stuff like that. And it's pretty impressive. It really is. Quarterback, I mean, to no surprise, dudes are studying and like there's some smart dudes. Like they know what's up. And it's fun to listen and hear them and like all that. But I'm pretty sure Peyton Manning confirmed on Pat McAfee show that a season 2 was coming because he's like an executive producer or something. And I think that Netflix has already greenlit a second season, which isn't surprising because Hard Knocks and stuff like that usually gets good ratings and is a pretty big deal every year for HBO. So I watched that. Past that, I watched 2 movies. The first we'll talk about. So I'm kind of curious, and I think, honestly, okay, I'm going to go in with this preference. I don't know jack shit about this story from the comic perspective. Okay? And what we're speaking of is Thor. I have not read really any Thor comics. I know
Which
Thor through like the Norse stuff and all that. Like that's most of my Thor knowledge. And for the most part, like what we've seen in Marvel is fairly similar, like kind of ish. Same I guess premise. But I watched the new Thor: Love and Thunder. And going into it, I'd heard, and Christian, you can tell me if I'm wrong. I'd heard it was boo boo shoes. I'd heard it was terrible.
Was it the movie?
Yeah. So with me, how Thor's have kind of went. Thor 1, solid. It was a solid movie. I don't think I really got super into Thor 2 for some reason. I don't know why. Thor 3, which would be Ragnarok, was good. Like I thought it was fun. It was a fun movie. I think they completely changed the tone of how they were, and went more of a Guardian-esque style with like the music and like the kind of bright colors in 80s.
You mean with this new one?
No, in 3 Ragnarok or whatever it is.
Oh, gotcha.
They changed from how 1 and 2 were. They changed the style of Thor. Like it was a little more comedic, I guess. This one followed suit like that. It's very Guardian-esque, which the Guardians are in it for a tiny piece. But it's definitely kind of like that, bright, vivid colors. The music is very 80s. And Thor is very... How do I describe Thor? I don't want to say dumb. Just kind of oblivious. I don't know. He's kind of clueless on a lot of things, and it's funny. It is. There's a lot of comedic elements in it, though. We lost Christian. Oh no, Christian has went off into the Matrix yet again. We should have a Matrix counter for the episodes for when Christian decides to do his best Neo impersonation to go to the Matrix. Are you back?
Yep, back in it.
All right, Neo, welcome back. A lot of comedy in it. So I think one of the biggest knocks that I think even I heard you complain about was Gore, the God Butcher. To me, I don't know. I don't know what he's supposed to be like. I don't know how he's supposed to be. I just love Christian Bale as an actor, so I was like, okay, it's Christian Bale. So I thought it was cool. I thought he looked pretty cool. He's kind of creepy. I'm assuming he probably was supposed to be a lot bigger. I didn't know anything about Almighty Thor and what should go with that. And honestly, I will say if you haven't watched it, it's been out for a while now. Actually, it's been out over a year. So if you haven't watched it, I'm sorry. But I honestly thought this was them retiring Thor. That was my impression going in was Chris Hemsworth. This is him passing the mantle to Natalie Portman because I thought she was taking over. But that's not the case. Instead, he's now a god dad, which is a twist that I didn't expect. But all in all, I didn't think it was awful. Like it had some fun parts. There were some funny things. Zeus was hilarious. Russell Crowe as Zeus, because that is not what I expected for Zeus at all.
Exactly.
So I thought that was pretty good. I'm assuming they're setting up more. So I guess Chris Hemsworth is still doing Thor. I thought they all were done. I thought the original Avengers were done. Am I wrong?
No, I mean they're essentially what's happening is they're paving the way for a new set of Avengers. Essentially, that's why
But they're going to potentially do another Thor movie.
I mean, Chris Hemsworth came out and said he would do Thor as long as people wanted Thor.
Because technically, he's done more movies than all of them, right? Because there's 4 solo Thor movies now.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Avengers, and then what else has he been in? He's been in all kinds of shit.
He has. He's been in a lot. He's been in absolutely a lot, and I like that. The problem
he's a good Thor, though. I do like him as Thor.
I mean, this is the only Thor we've had to do. We don't know. We can't compare him to anything else. And I think that eventually we'll start getting other characters. We'll start bringing in other Avenger characters from the comics and trying to wrap that up and do that. But the problem is logistically they can't keep making Avengers movies with these characters because each movie that comes out, you have to pay the actors more money. Each time they show up, the you have to pay them. You have to increase their pay all the time, and you have the actor strike right now. You have the writer strike going on right now, so it's a little harder. So what they're trying to do is figure out a way to retool how they do Marvel movies, and this has actually come out in the media recently. They're trying to figure out how they can retool the movies, how they can bring in new characters, how they can cut out all the filler and just start getting to the important parts of the stories that they want to tell without making you wait, 4 movies deep and 3 TV shows before you get to the next event movie. Essentially, they're trying to skip ahead and do a lot of that stuff. And with that, they're going to bring in new characters. So, like, you got Tom Holland as Spider-Man. He'll eventually want to step down, and then they'll literally have to bring in another Spider-Man character, which easy win for them would be Miles Morales, right? That's a whole nother Spider-Man. People love him. He's got animated movies out right now that are immensely popular. So stuff like that is what they're trying to do. And I think that that's the right route to go. However, Marvel has to figure out a way to make those characters fit into the world that they've created because they've changed a lot of the stuff from the comics to the movies. But going back to what you were just saying with Thor, Love and Thunder, and Gore the God Butcher, that version of Gore the God Butcher we got in the movie is absolutely not the version that we deserved as comic book fans, because Gore in the comics, like, for the lack of a better term, he beat the dog shit out of Thor. When they first met up, Thor fought him, and he beat Thor so bad that Thor was afraid to have to fight him again.
Was
like,
Gore bigger in
happened.
the comics? Because I'm under the
Yes.
impression he should have been bigger.
Thor is bigger. He's not like a hulking character.
Well, no,
by any
but I
means.
feel like Christian Bale was very slender in this to me.
Yeah, he's not that thin. No, he's not that thin in the comics. And he looks better. Like, Christian Bale just had some makeup on his face and contacts, and the only time he really looked cool
Can I make a
is when he was
statement?
doing
This movie made me want to watch?
Mm-hmm.
Like, the whole time I saw Christian Bale, do you have any idea what it made me want to watch? Like, just listening to him? You're probably going to say one thing, and I'm going to have to... Yeah, it's not going to be right.
What's the movie?
American Psycho. I don't know why, but the whole time watching him, I was just thinking, damn, I really want to watch American Psycho.
I mean, he does play a better villain in that movie, so I understand. That movie's fantastic.
Oh, yeah, American Psycho's fantastic. Just, yeah. The more I watch it, the more I like that. Every time.
I mean, I get that. I 100% understand.
So
that.
we got sidetracked. That's my fault. I do really like Christian Bale, though. I think he's a phenomenal actor. And I think this might be the skinniest, whenever he was Gore at the beginning, this might have been the skinniest I've seen him since The Machinist.
Yeah, that or the movie that he did. I forget the movie that he did where he was a washed up boxer. And then I think Marky Mark was in that movie as well and was the main character. I can't remember what it's called right now.
Fighter? No, not Fighter. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he was pretty thin in that one too.
Anyways, back to this. So, did you think this movie was awful?
Love and Thunder. I hated that movie, to be honest. I really, really, really didn't like that movie, and it's because it wasn't Thor. It wasn't Gore the God Butcher. The story was over the top silly. There
was a lot of comedy.
Yeah. There was a lot of comedy in it. They didn't do Jane correctly either. Like, she looked amazing, and I loved seeing her do her thing. I liked her story, but they did her a disservice by not allowing that movie to essentially center around her. She deserved better.
I was very confused by that because it starts and it's like, oh, she has cancer. And I was like, because I made the comment, I was like, Natalie Portman she looks kind of rough in this. And then obviously you find out she has cancer. It's like, oh, it makes sense now. Like, they're making her look, a little rougher. And then all of a sudden she was Almighty Thor. And I was like, what the shit did this happen? What did I miss? And they kind of elaborated, like they gave a little backstory of why. But I was like, that escalated really quickly. Like, they kind of rushed that kind of fast.
They absolutely rushed it. And it wasn't.
Because literally she's sick and then she's like, read stuff. And then she's Almighty Thor. And I was like, the shit just happened. Like, it's fast.
In the comics, what happens is Nick Fury whispers something in Thor's ear, When he whispers it in Thor's ear, Thor is no longer able to carry the hammer. So he can't pick it up anymore. And somebody picks up the hammer, and we get a female Thor at this point. And nobody knows who it is. I remember when that comic came out, I said, if this ends up being Jane Foster, I'm going to be pissed. I said that on a YouTube video somewhere that maybe I'll find it and send it to you.
Oh, was it your old back in the day? Christian used to do almost like a podcast where you guys would talk comics every week. Was it that?
Yeah, every week. Yeah, it was in that. It was called Weekly Rex.
Yeah,
and with Weekly Rex,
shout out B-Man and all the ones that were in it. I remember that.
Yeah,
I used to watch that.
Yeah, we did that every Wednesday. We would have that come out. But here's the thing. I remember saying if it's Jane Foster, I'm gonna be pissed. And when they revealed to us that it was Jane Foster, it was so beautifully done and so well written that I immediately went back on my words and apologized, because I was like, actually, this is fantastic and I love everything about it, because it was built up the right way. Her character was done correctly in that story, and we got time with her. We got time with her as Thor before we learned that it was Jane. We just knew her as Thor, and she came in and she got shit done, and she was more effective than Odin's son Thor. It was amazing, and everything that she did was really helpful, and she had the most positive attitude about everything that she was doing. It was beautifully written. It was beautifully drawn. One of the best Thor stories that I've read in a long time as a comic book fan. And then the movie comes out and they rush past all of that, because Marvel likes to rush past important stories, and they like to give us a lot of humor, and everybody's quippy and has reasons why they're the funniest fucking person in the world. And it's just kind of weird, it doesn't do us any justice. So with that said, I really hated how the characters were done in that movie, because they just weren't the characters that they should have been. And the movie itself wasn't good anyway.
Okay,
there were some
since you're not a fan of it, I have a question. Are you a fan of the Guardians series?
Yeah, yes, I am.
By series, I mean the movies.
I knew what you meant. Yeah, I like the Guardians movies.
Okay. So to me, I feel like Thor has changed to almost mimic Guardians in a way, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Like, it's going for definitely more of like that goofy humor at parts, which is super Marvel. And I'm assuming in the comics, Thor doesn't have like damn near a love triangle with his axe and his hammer.
Mm-hmm. He does not.
Because that, to me, I was like, okay, this is really freaking goofy. Like, I get that they're trying to be really lighthearted and fun, but I was like, is this necessary? Like, do we need him to be essentially like, oh no, I was just saying hi, like making it weird between the weapons kind of thing? I was like, that's not needed.
Yeah, like I said, man, it's all meant to be too goofy, and it's not for me. It's not. However, people like that movie. There's a group of people out there who like that movie, and I'm glad that you like it.
I mean, its budget was $250 million, and it made $760 in box office. So, I mean, that Marvel all they say is, okay, that's what, almost 3 times. Well, it is 3 times what we paid. So,
good for them, man. I'm glad that they.
I don't think it was as bad as some of the other stuff I've seen. Like, it had its parts where I definitely enjoyed it. I understand completely why you wouldn't, because you're more in tune with the source material than me. I have no clue. Like, I have nothing to base gore off of for me. So, I mean, it was a fun watch. Is it my favorite Marvel? No. Like, I do think, like I said, to me, my impression is it's trying to mimic Guardians and be really lighthearted and goofy and almost make Thor just a dumb jock in a way. Like, he's just kind of like, some of the stuff he says, you're like, Thor's kind of not bright. Just, I don't know.
He's not.
The whole Jane thing was really confusing to me. I do think that was really, really rushed, because, like I said, my impression was she was taking the mantle. She was going to be the new Thor, and that was it. That's what I thought was happening. And then we kind of rushed, and then the ending, I was like, okay, this is how we're ending. This is where we're leaving off. Because I don't know, all that kind of threw me off a bit. The fight was okay. I don't feel like gore really dominated much. I don't know. It was okay.
No, I mean, I agree with you, man. I think that you're on the right mindset there, and you didn't get what you needed out of the movie in that sense because that's not what they were giving us.
I would like to see
So that's
Thor
not
get
your
that
fault.
ass whooped more. To me, it's better when the hero is not necessarily like almost a draw as much as, especially the first time you fight, you get that ass handed and you're like, all right, I need to regroup kind of deal, which is a general formula for most movies where the hero gets beat up and then they come back and they're able to prevail in the end. But I would like to see Thor actually get pushed to his limits and really struggle more. But to me, he didn't really struggle much. Honestly, like, I don't know. Did
Makes
you
a
think
lot
he
of
struggled?
sense, yeah. I mean, I think that honestly, man, with the character of Thor, they just kind of blew their load too early in other movies, and now that we have Thunder, there's really no reason for us to really think about his character as a character who struggles. Like he's already lost what you would expect a character of his stature to lose. His dad's gone, sister's gone, brother's gone, mother's gone. He has almost no family except for the Asgardians that
So
he doesn't even want to hang out with at all. So
I
like,
have a
yeah,
dumb question, and I hope it's not a spoiler, because I haven't watched Loki still.
Jesus Christ.
I know. So you said Loki's gone. Is the Loki show a prequel then, or is Loki not really gone? He's somewhere else.
I mean, I could tell you that, but I don't know if you want to learn the answer
Okay.
to it.
I mean, I was just curious because you said that his brother's gone, so I was just curious on that.
For all intents and purposes, his brother is gone. However, I'll say it this way: the version of his brother that we have grown to love throughout the movies is gone. That's what I
Is
can
the
say.
actor done?
No.
Okay, good. I like him as Loki. But yeah, I won't
If you like
really
him as
dwell
Loki,
on
then watch
this.
Loki.
Do what?
I said if you like him as Loki, then you should be watching Loki.
I
you son
know
of a
it's on
bitch.
my list of stuff to do, but things happen. Things happen.
Right.
I haven't watched Eternals either, or I think the last two Ant-Man movies. There's a lot I haven't watched. Happens.
It does get that way. It's easy to fall off on some things. However, you
All
should
right,
totally
we'll move
watch.
along past that. That's probably enough Thor talk. Yeah. So the other thing I watched because I am pretty sure I had seen people hype this up, and myself as a fan, a lot of you know I am dipping my toe into the anime stuff. But one thing I did know about that I grew up watching was Dragon Ball Z, and I had missed a lot of Dragon Ball movies. A lot. Like I don't know how many there is at this point, but I'd watched a few. But I had missed pretty much all the new ones, and the most recent one, I think, Christian, hope you can tell me if I'm wrong, is Dragon Ball Superhero. Right?
Yes, that is the newest one, the latest movie. Yes.
Okay. So I watched it last night. I watched it because I saw a lot of people were, well, not last night. I didn't see a lot of people, but I'd seen a lot of people over time since it's been out really praising it and liking it, and so I was like, I want to watch it. It's the most recent. Let's see what's up with it. And I have a few thoughts. First off, from me watching the Cell Saga to Dragon Ball Superhero, the animation is night and day. Obviously, there's a lot of time between those from when Cell come out, because Cell come out in probably the 90s, right, over in Japan when they animated it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's old. Cell's old. From when we got it later, but yeah. To now, the animation looks awesome. I really liked a lot of it. I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. And one thing made me really happy, and that's the fact that Gohan actually looked like Gohan that I know. Not what they did to Gohan, because they essentially shit on Gohan after Cell. They dropped their pants and took a steaming shit on Gohan. Like, they hyped him up in this saga forever to be potentially the strongest character, and then he's done nothing. They gave him Great Saiyan, man. They literally they're like, we don't need you. Cast aside. So seeing Gohan actually be a badass and be the Gohan we know, and even, spoiler, I don't know, Christian, you can tell me what form it is he turns at the end, but he looked so sick. His hair was like gray, I think, or white.
White.
Oh, it was so sick. I was like, damn, Gohan looks badass. Not only does Gohan look badass, Piccolo gets his untapped potential brought out, and he turns into Orange Piccolo. I don't know why he doesn't get a cool name, but he's Orange Piccolo, which was pretty freaking sick. We see Goku and Vegeta battle, which is cool. We've seen that before, though, so, I mean, that was nothing, like, crazy. I don't know why. I guess I haven't seen the Broly stuff, but Broly not being in Super Saiyan and looking kind of like Kakarot, Goku, kind of threw me off a bit. Or he looked like, oh, my God. What's Goku's dad's name? Bojack. Is it Bojack?
No, it's Bardock.
Okay. Who's Bojack's another one, right?
Bojack's a villain from one of the Dragon Ball movies.
Okay. All right. What's his name?
His name is Bardock.
Bardock. Okay, he kind of looked sort of like him, but bigger. So that kind of threw me off for a second. So I'd missed whatever in that. One of my favorite parts, Christian, you're going to make fun of me. One of my favorite parts, though, had to be Trunks and Goten. I love Trunks, particular future Trunks. And them, this is the first, I don't know if they've been essentially teenagers yet, but this is the first I've seen them kind of grown up from them being just the kids that I've seen. And, dude, they look pretty sick. Goten especially, I was like, damn, Goten kind of looks badass.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, their fusion was hilarious because they turned into a fat little Saiyan. His butt cheeks are hanging out. But no, I really enjoyed it. Having their, what was he called? What do they call Cell? It wasn't perfect. It was like, wasn't Supercell. I can't remember what they call it. Anyways, it's like a better version of Cell. Seeing them fight that, as well as the androids, the ultimate androids. I thought it was good.
Oh,
I really did
Cell
enjoy
Max?
it. Do what?
You're talking about the villain, Cell Max?
Cell Max, that's what it is. I was trying to think what they called Cell. Yeah. But I really enjoyed it. It was fun. I liked the animation. Like I said, it was nice. It was very nice and refreshing for me to see Gohan actually be worth something at this point. Like, actually kicking some ass, being the Gohan that he should have been this whole time. That was really cool to see. Have you seen Dragon Ball Superhero by chance? I'm sure you have.
I actually saw it in theaters.
What did you think about it?
I enjoyed it, man. It was exactly what I needed it to be, which is a movie that focused a little bit more on my favorite character, which is Gohan. And
ooh, I don't think I knew Gohan was your favorite.
Yeah, Gohan's been my favorite since the beginning for me. Like Goku, I thought was, Goku's the main
Superman.
Character, I tried. Yeah. I mean, and I don't dislike Goku, don't get me wrong. But
no,
Vegeta,
but Goku's easy to be a favorite character. And to me, I don't think I could ever, like, don't get me wrong. Goku's cool. He's fine. He's always strong. He comes in clutch a lot. But he's not my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
I would, TJ's going to love this. I would probably pick Vegeta as far as, like, character development over Goku.
Mm-hmm.
But future Trunks is my favorite. And then I have to stick with Trunks. I'll never forget how excited I was the first time I saw future Trunks. And he turned Super Saiyan, especially after being in the chamber with Vegeta. And his hair was all long and pulled back, and he just looked sick. And I was like, oh, what is this? What is this fresh nonsense?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Understandable, man. Totally get it.
So
Vegeta's
how do you
not
feel
my
about
favorite,
Gohan essentially getting shit on for years?
I mean, it hurts me, dude. It hurts me to see my boy get effed like that. I don't like seeing it, but it happens, and that's too bad. And I also am glad that we got a moment where Gohan he got to shine a little bit. Like his new form is called Gohan Beast or Beast Gohan. That's why his eyes are red, because it's unlocking the inner beast within him. Like, I'm not sure how I feel about that necessarily, because it mimics him from the Cell Saga. It's like almost the same thing. I do like that he uses the special beam cannon though. I can't lie. I thought that was awesome. But what I can say is I'm just glad that Gohan is among the strongest characters again. At that moment in time, he was the strongest, but obviously that won't last. And in the manga right now, they're getting to that point. In the manga, we just got the chapter where excuse me, where Piccolo turns into his new orange Piccolo form, where he looks more demonic. His antennae are pulled back. He's huge, looking like Lord Slug almost, and his teeth are a little sharper. His eyes are cut a little more. And then you also notice like his just the way that they draw him. He looks a lot more slender in his normal form, but when he's beefed up like that, faster and stronger, he looks like I said, looks like Demon King Piccolo almost. So that's really cool to see. But yeah, man, I enjoyed this movie. I liked it. It did what I needed it to do, and I hope that we get more of Gohan being Beast later on.
So I know we're running a long time, but since I've watched this, can you give me 3 movies other than this that you recommend watching as far as like good Dragon Ball movies? Ones that I've seen, and I could butcher names, are like Lord Slug, Dead Zone. I think it's called Dead Zone. And then Cooler, Return of Cooler, something Cooler. Oh, it was the first one with Cooler, where you find like Frieza's dad, right? In that Cooler.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I've seen those. So most of the ones I've seen are older to the point, not newer. So do you have a few recommendations or no?
Yeah, number 1 is the movie that came out right before the one you just watched. It's called Dragon Ball Super Broly. It's the retelling of Broly's story.
Okay.
So that's the Broly that you saw in that movie. So you definitely should watch that one.
Okay.
I enjoyed it quite a bit.
I remember people seeing. Maybe you told me you saw that in theater. Did you see that in theaters too?
I actually missed seeing that one in theaters. I wanted to, but I missed it. So I saw it later.
Maybe it was TJ. Somebody was hyping up it coming to theaters, and they were excited to watch it. I can't remember who it was.
Probably TJ. But that one's absolutely worth it.
Okay.
Let's see. Honestly, I would just recommend you watching the newer movies. Superhero. You should watch the new Broly movie. You should watch Resurrection of F. Resurrection F is fine. Like I like the animation mostly in that film, and I like the Goku Frieza fight in that one. So that was pretty cool. Battle of the Gods as well. Like that was the first of the newer movies to really start kicking things off. And I think I owned that one I'm pretty sure. That's the one where Beerus first shows up and fights Goku as a Super Saiyan 3. Absolutely mollywops him. And then that's when Goku first becomes a Super Saiyan God. So that was kind of cool to see, especially if you haven't seen how he becomes a Super Saiyan God. So that's nice. So those are 3 that I would watch just because they're newer. Other than that, I would say watch the original legendary Super Saiyan Broly movie. Watch Broly's Second Coming.
I think I've seen the original Broly one, possibly. I feel like I might have.
Okay.
Maybe. I probably should rewatch it.
I don't think nobody gave the Z Fighters a bigger ass whooping than Broly. So that's definitely one. A lot of people really recommend watching BoJack Unbound, but the reason why I don't recommend watching BoJack Unbound is because there's like 2 cool scenes. There's a scene where Trunks really does his thing and then gets his ass beat, which is kind of fun to watch. And then when Gohan like beats everybody at the end, but it's so quick, you don't really get to enjoy it because it happens so fast. So there's that. But the other one I'd recommend is Super Android 13. Is it the best one? No. But there's some really good fights in that one. And then if you haven't seen it, which I don't think you have, I recommend watching The Tree of Might. It's an older one. It's about Turles. Turles is a Goku clone, essentially. He's not a clone, but he looks just like a Goku. He shows up to Earth, and he plants this seed to make this tree pop up, and it uses the Earth's, like, essentially, it's the Earth's soul that it uses to power this tree. He eats the fruit from the tree, and then he gets super fucking powerful. So him fighting Goku and the other Z fighters in that film is actually really nice. The story I don't really care that much about, but the fighting is awesome, and that's exactly why you're watching Dragon Ball Z. You're watching it for the fighting, not for the super intricate story. So Tree of Might, Broly, Super Android 13, Resurrection F, and Battle of Gods. Those are the movies that you should watch.
What was the last one you said? Oh, Battle of the Gods.
Battle of Gods.
Battle of Gods. Okay. All right. So the newer ones and then those. Okay, got it. But yeah, that's what I've been into this week. That was a very long start, but it was kind of the main course of it. But I do have some news before we get into last call. Like I said, time is running low. There is some news that come out around the horror genre, and we don't have a lot of information, but I wanted to share what little bit we have saw, and that will be Saw X got its first look image at Tobin Bell as a desperate jigsaw killer. So it's also, I believe, hitting theaters a month earlier than expected. It looks like it is supposed to come out. If this is right, it says October 27th. I'm not sure if that changed. No, wait. It changed from the 27th to September 29th. Excuse me. That's what it was. Okay, so it was supposed to come out October 27th, and it changed to September 29th of this year. Saw X comes out. Christian, quick thoughts about Saw X. We don't have much stuff. I don't think there's even a trailer right now. They just showed an image. Christian, you have any thoughts on Saw X and the bump up?
The bump up, I'm pretty sure it's due to the writer strike and actor strike. So I think that's why they did that, to be completely honest. And then other than that, I don't have much. I just think that I'm completely burnt out on the Saw film, so I'm not excited for this one. I have literally the lowest expectations for this film.
Surely it's better than I don't know if it counts as a Saw film. I guess it does.
Spiral one?
Yeah. Surely it's better than that, because that was boo-boo shoes. I'm sorry. That one was awful.
We'll see. I will say really quick, I know that time is essentially up for both of us at this point, but I just saw just now that they announced that there is a Borderlands movie coming August 9th, 2024.
You didn't know Jamie Lee's in Borderlands. You know that, right?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, the cast was announced. I think Jack Black is possibly Claptrap.
Wow.
Hold on. I'll tell you who all's in it. It's a decent cast. But yeah, I knew the Borderlands movie was a thing. But it comes out next year, right? I think I saw them post that. When did you say next year?
2024, yeah, that's correct.
I could be really wrong. Maybe the cast was fake. It's done by Eli Roth, by the way.
It's done by Eli Roth?
Yeah, Eli Roth is your director and writer. Also, Joe Crombie also wrote with Eli Roth. Okay, so Claptrap is Jack Black. Real quick. Roland is Kevin Hart. Kate Blanchett is Lilith. Tanis is Jamie Lee Curtis. Gina Gershon is Moxie. I'm trying to just hit people real quick. Anybody else like notable? Bobby Lee is Larry. And Oliver Richards is Crom. Tiny Tina is Adriana Greenblatt. So there you go. Okay. But moving on past that. Saw, I don't know. We'll see. I want to see a trailer. They've kind of lost me, but I'll watch it. But I can't say right now I'm super excited for it. Another thing they got released possibly today would be the first posters for The Exorcist Believer, which is the sequel to the original Exorcist, I believe. Christian, can you confirm?
Yes, that is correct.
And this would be done by the team that did the new Halloween movies. So you can take that how you want to take that, based on how we've perceived and expressed our opinions of the most recent trilogy. But it does. I didn't know this, but I'm seeing right here that Linda Blair is in it again. Those that don't know, she was Reagan in the original. So she was the little girl. So I'm kind of curious how that's going to go. There's no way this is actually the mom. Ellen, what is her name? Ellen something? Ellen Burstyn? There, she's not. Is she? She's not the. Oh, damn. She is the actual mom from The Exorcist.
Nice.
Yeah, so, well, that's cool. They're bringing them back. It says she was an Exorcist, so I'm assuming. She's 90 years old. Oh, my God. Okay.
Jeez.
So yeah, we don't really know. No stuff has really come out on it. It looks like this says it's supposed to come out. Wait, no. Why does this say it's supposed to come out in 2000? That's not right. Believer, it theaters October 13th. So more spooky season stuff coming out October 13th this year. No trailers or anything. Like I said, it's just posters right now. Christian, any thoughts on that one?
Not yet.
Are you
Or
excited
before I
for
can
that one
have
at
some
least?
actual thoughts.
Knowing the team that's behind it.
I'm excited to see a trailer so that I can get excited or not get excited, if that makes any sense.
I will say this: I'm concerned because I'm almost wondering if it's gonna be like Halloween, like the first one we get, Exorcist Believer. We're like, damn, that was really good, and then it just shits the bed the next. Because I'm sure they're gonna do multiple if it does well.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a 3-movie deal already. We already said that.
Well, that's concerning for me. I mean, you could do one and done with Exorcist. I feel like you don't even have to do a trilogy.
It's true. That's what I mean. Look what happened to the last Exorcist trilogy. Like,
Yeah,
come on.
God. Okay, I'm not. We'll see. When trailers come out, we'll definitely give more thoughts. That's our initial impressions right now. And then the final thing that was announced, that has been announced, but we got a date. That would be Pet Sematary Bloodlines, which is a prequel to the original Pet Sematary, and it's coming out. It's going straight to streaming, I believe, on Paramount Plus, and comes out October 6th of this year. So you have September, start October. So you have 3 horror movies coming out for spooky season, which is the perfect time, honestly. But for me, Pet Sematary, it's going to be right in my, Halloween horror movie binge for spooky season. So I'll definitely watch it when it comes out. I will plan around it. I'll probably watch it and then watch the original and so forth and move down the line like that around that time. It does have David Duchovny in it, and it features a young Judd Crandall. So, Christian, thoughts on the Pet Sematary prequel?
All right, quick thoughts. Do we need this? No. Do we ask for it? No. Will I watch it at some point? I'm not super excited to watch this just because the first one was the one that I like, and then I know they made a second one, which wasn't good. The remake that we got a couple of years ago also wasn't the greatest movie I've ever seen, but it wasn't trash either.
I didn't mind it.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about it. But
I
with
liked
this one,
Lithgow in it. Like, I enjoyed him. He was Judd, right? Yeah, he was Judd.
He was, but I like the original one the most.
Well, yeah.
To be honest, that's my Judd. But anyway, just to keep
It's because you love Herman
brief,
Munster.
I'm not super excited for this, and it doesn't seem like it's going to be enjoyable to watch. It just seems like another kind of cash grabby film. Like, hey, we have to make this movie in order to keep the rights, so here we are. So we'll see what happens, man. I'll eventually watch it when I can watch it for free. But other than that, like I said, I'm not super excited about it. It's not going to be like a first day watch for me.
Yeah, fair. I like David Duchovny. I have Paramount Plus right now, so I mean, why not? All right, but I think that covers all of our news. And unless Christian has anything else, sir.
No, that's it.
All right, well, that's time then, ladies and gentlemen, that we
pass the whiskey.
That's right. Get your
Whiskey.
As we go to last call, and this week's last call, we failed you as hosts last week to acknowledge the fact that my first console that I ever played and my exposure to gaming via the Nintendo Entertainment System turned 40 years old last week. 40 years old. Crazy, right? So, in honor of the belated birthday of NES, I have the last call question, and I would like to know, Christian, what was your favorite NES video game?
Oh, there's so many video games for the NES, but if I had to pick a favorite right now, I think I would have to pick Super Mario 3, I think would be my favorite. Super Mario Brothers 3 is probably the one that I put the most time into without like cussing as a child or throwing anything or trying to break a controller. I put a lot of time in that. I did play a lot of the Batman, the video game, but I knew that it wasn't a good game even then. I just played it because it was Batman. I played a bit of the Kirby's Adventure game. on NES at that time, and there was one more game that I played a bunch of. I didn't really play a lot of Tetris on a Duck Hunt. I played a shit ton of Duck
Duck
Hunt,
Hunt was the shit.
and it really was. It really was. And Double Dragon, I remember playing that a lot.
Did you play Contra?
But the game that I played, I actually didn't play Contra at this time. I didn't play Contra at this time. I didn't play it until Sega. I don't remember. But I had to play Contra retroactively because I didn't know what I was getting into. But I have to say, the one that I played the most, that I had the most fun with, that I put the most time into, was definitely Super Mario Brothers 3. That was the one.
Out of the Super Mario games, that was definitely the one I played the most on NES for sure. The little like raccoon tail and stuff was freaking awesome. Other than that, I did a lot of track and field. I don't know why. I love that. Used to run and make way too much noise running on that stupid pad until I figured out to cheat and just use my hands because it was so much quicker. Because, yeah.
That's hilarious.
Little kid IQ. I can't remember. There was a baseball game I played, and I cannot remember the name of it. It was a weird baseball game, but I played it a lot. And Duck Hunt, obviously, way too much time. But I'm going to throw you a weird one that you probably don't even know. And the reason I'm going to say it was one of my favorite NES games is because I probably shouldn't have been playing it, to be honest. There's a very good chance I shouldn't have been playing it. And my uncle actually had it, and then I ended up with it. And that was a game called Narc. And you were essentially a cop, and you were to like clean up the streets, but there would be like heroin needles and stuff. They would like get you and all kinds of things. I should not have been playing this game, but I did, and probably because I shouldn't have been playing it, I really liked it.
That's fair.
So I'm gonna put that
a little bit
to do something a little different, have a little twist.
There was another game that I play a lot. The other one that I play a lot of was Mega Man. I think Mega Man 5 is what it was. Maybe. I think it was Mega Man 5. Yeah, I played a bunch of Mega Man as well. I was terrible at Mega Man and didn't get past like level 3, I think. But other than that, I played the other game that I played a lot of, probably more than Super Mario Brothers 3. Was the Ninja Turtles?
Oh,
I think it was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Arcade, 2 Arcade. I think is what it was. And I play a lot of that because it was before Turtles in Time came out. I played a bunch of that because I was real big into Ninja Turtles at the time. So yes, that was the other one I played a lot of. Probably more so than Mario because it was a franchise that I was intimately familiar with. I was looking at the comics. I was watching the show. I was looking at the movie. Probably that one.
I remember Batman was hard. I remember RoboCop was hard. Did you ever play Top Gun? Top Gun was stupid hard.
I did not play that one.
That was hard. Let us know. I would like to know out there if you played Nintendo NES, the original Nintendo system. What was your favorite game? Let us know in the comments. I would love to know. That was my first console. I don't know about Christian, but that was my exposure to gaming.
Yeah, I mean, I played it. I didn't own one. I think I started on
Super?
Sega, maybe.
Oh, you were a Sega kid.
Yeah,
I went
Nintendo,
from NES to Super.
Yeah, Super Nintendo, like somebody in my family had one and let me borrow it for a little bit, but that was before I knew how to hook it up. So it just sat there for a while because I didn't know how to hook it up.
No.
And then I got a Sega later and played shit out of Sega.
Boy, I was playing Echo the Dolphin. I already know.
No, I was playing what was I even playing? I think I was playing like Spider-Man. It was a Venom and Carnage game. I think it was called Maximum Carnage or something.
I remember
like Separation
that. I remember
Anxiety.
seeing that in a magazine and wanted to play it, but I never had a Sega.
It was called Separation Anxiety, and I played a lot of that game.
Super is where I got into
Carnage
fighting games. I played Mortal Kombat for the first time there, and then I played Street Fighter. I played the piss out of Street Fighter on Super. That Super Nintendo, I think it was a tank because it got used so much, way too much. I also played a fishing game on there. I don't know why, but I used to love this, like, black bass or something fishing. It was weird. Catch them lunkers or whatever they called them. I think it was called lunkers, like big fish under. Yeah. Earthworm Jim. Okay, that's going in a separate direction. Happy 40th birthday to NES, though. Let us know what your favorite NES game is. I would love to know. Let us know in the comments. If you'd like your question to be featured on Last Call, hit us up on gilded.gg/Sinister Pack in the application. Put from the podcast. There's a section dedicated just to Last Call where you can submit your question and get it featured on an episode. You can also submit a Sinister tale, a spooky story for us to go over and talk about on the podcast. And then there's this episode chat as well as other topics and channels to talk with us about things in general. And then there's lots of stuff in regards to my streaming. So you can come check it out over there. Gilded.gg/Sinister Pack application from the pod. We may open up a channel. I do have a Discord server, but we may open up a section in Discord on that. It's an older server from the Mixer days, but we'll talk about that later. Right now, Gilded. Join Gilded because Gilded is what we primarily use and what I'm the most active on. But other than that, you can find us at Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at Sippin With Sin, SIPPIN with Sin, and on Threads. Go drop us a follow over on Threads as well. Same thing, SIPPIN with Sin, and it's also a great way to hit us up with your last call question there. Go submit them on one of those DMs. Just say hello or talk to us. Posts happen over there, so definitely go say hello. You can find us every Wednesday at 8 a.m. Central Time on all audio platforms, Apple, Spotify, Anchor, Overcast, Google, all that stuff. 8 a.m. every Wednesday Central Time. You can find the video version over on my personal YouTube, youtube.com/IamSinister, 8 a.m. as well, every Wednesday. That's right. So be sure to thumbs up it, subscribe on the YouTube, and then on the audio platforms, follow, subscribe, whatever it requires. Give us 5 stars. Help us out. Spread the word. Share the podcast with a friend because it helps a ton. Continue to grow our audience. And, you can find me, if you want to find me on my personal socials, my streaming stuff, you can find me over on Twitch, Threads, and Instagram at IamSinister TV. Go drop a follow, say hello. You can find me streaming on kick.com/IamSinister. You can find me on twitch.tv/IamSinisterTV. You can find me on Facebook.com at IamSinisterTV. And, of course, TikTok at IamSinisterTV. Christian, where can the lovely folks find you and your dreadlocks?
You guys can find me on Instagram at Venom Inc. That's all one word. You guys can also find me on TikTok at my full name, Christian Venom. And those are only 2 places right now that you guys can find me. You can also on my own personal horror podcast that is Horrorverse at all the socials. I'm sorry, it's Horrorverse Pod on all socials. That's where you guys can find me right now. I don't have much more social media than that. It's hard to keep up with you guys these days. But come say hi, say what's up. I'm pretty active, especially on Instagram, and I'll see you there.
Yeah, it is a lot to keep up with, but especially in my line of work, I kind of have to. So, yeah, there's apps for days. But that's going to do it for this week. You don't have to go home. You got to get the hell out of here. It's time for me to prep for some birthday celebrations because I'm an old man and I got to get my Matlock, Murder, She Wrote, marathon ready and drink my prune juice and celebrate me being even older this weekend. So, with that being said, you ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here. We'll see you guys next week. It's time for Christian to shut it down.
Guys, thank you so much again for joining us again on another episode of Sipping with Sin. Be sure to leave a 5-star review, smash that like button, say what's up to us in the comments, let us know what you want to see, leave your recommendations below as well. Also, guys, we would love if you guys would rate us 5 stars on Spotify and on all the Apple podcasts that you listen to us on. Please let us know what you think and what you want to hear. Also, let us know what you want to see. But above all that, guys, I'm going to leave you with 3 words. 3 words to leave you with on every single podcast. Those 3 words will save your life one day. And if you know them, say them with me. If you don't know them, listen very carefully. Because like I said, one day they'll save your life. And those 3 words are, don't get gutted.
See you guys next week.